Welcome, everyone, to the Tonya Hofmann's fabulous TV show. I am Tonya Hofmann. This is my fabulous TV show. And, of course, I always have an incredibly fabulous guest like today's guest. Y'all ready? It's Nicole Zaagman. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to be on Tanya's fabulous show.
Oh, my gosh. She is adorable and so smart. Incredible. She also puts on amazing events, and she's got a new book, so we can't wait to hear all about it and everything. So while you're sitting here going, I would love to be on Tanya's show someday, I would love it for you too. So why don't you just do that? Get involved with the Public Speakers Association. So to find out all about membership and really how to go out there and start changing lives from the front of the room, go to Public Speakers with an S Association, all spelled out.com to find out all about it. All righty, so let's just dig into Miss Nicole. So Nicole, I know that you're so incredibly fabulous. So tell us what is going on in your world. Tell us about your book and everything.
Sure. Well, the book rolled out about a month and a half ago, and just before the holidays, 2016. It's called, if you can see it, Be Badass and Brilliant. It's got a little out there title, and it's for very good reason. I decided that I wanted to write a book on success, so this is helping readers, I should say, not people, but readers, address the question of what's keeping them from living the life that they want. And the whole badass theme is about living a passionate life. And the brilliance piece is about taking the time to think for yourself. So readers are invited to create success on their terms with inner peace and confidence. I'd love to talk more about those two skill sets if I've got the chance to go into that.
That's amazing. Because one of the things that always seems to get in people's way is they try to be other people, right? And they get all caught up in how someone else did things. And they start to try to replicate exactly how the person became successful. And you can't. You have to look at what's going on in your own life. Is that what you mean by that?
Absolutely, 111%. I think that success can only be defined on our own terms. We can't look to our parents or our peers or even our best friend or siblings to really define what that looks like for us. When I started doing research for the book, what kept coming up, no matter who I talked to, didn't matter if it was a business professional, someone who had been in business for themselves for 30 years, a new entrepreneur, one of the things that prevented them from moving forward was this lack of inner peace within themselves. They felt conflict between what it was that they wanted to accomplish and where they were in the present moment. So that disconnect made them doubt themselves. So we talk a lot about self-doubt and the critical thoughts that can appear in our own thought patterns, but that, stops a lot of us from moving forward. And then secondly, as a holistic branding and confidence coach, confidence comes up as well. And people think, oh, confidence, like it's a lot about outward appearance and doing things right. That's really not what it comes down to. If you look at the definition of confidence, it's about putting trust in someone or something. And that's often what we do from cradle to grave. We're putting our trust in our parents, what they want for us. Or maybe a professor came along and said, oh, you're really good at this, you should pursue this, when it wasn't really our calling or what we felt we should do. So I'm encouraging and putting people to the challenge to actually put confidence within themselves. What is it that you feel called to do? What is it that's always tugged at your heartstrings that you feel like you're supposed to accomplish, or the people group that you're supposed to reach? How are you supposed to inspire and uplift other people? So that's where the inner peace and confidence piece comes into the subtitle of the book.
I love that. One of the things that I see as a challenge in today's society is you got millennials, and then you've got, people my age and older that are going, all right, you millennials, you keep saying you want all this stuff. You want to be passionate. You want things, now. You don't want to go through the struggles, and that's not the way things go. But it really is. And that they think just because they did it the hard way, that everyone has to do it that same way. Do you find that?
Yeah, I love that you brought up that aspect of struggles. I talk a lot about heartbreak and setback. And often when we're going through those challenging trials or times in our lives, we really don't want to be going through them. I say that because I've been there, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with the health crisis. I don't want to deal with losing relationships that were really important to me, my family moving away. I talk a lot about some of the things that were really hard for me in the past few years, or losing a loved one unexpectedly if they pass away, things like that. But we have to go through those moments. And I've recently been going to a lot of different talks and workshops and hearing other people talk about this concept of, if you can think of in a visual format, a staircase, and having each of those catalytic moments, what I call them, to get you to the next level, to make you more brave, to help you have a stronger heart, to help you gain more confidence. You have to go through all those checkpoints, so to speak, to help you get to where you need to be to accomplish your passion and your mission.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So when you look at confidence, because I know, working with speakers all the time, one of the things is they're in their head instead of in their heart. And people, I was just on another lady's whole webinar series, and she was talking exactly about that, when first she started speaking, it was, putting together the perfect presentation and everything has to be perfect. So she would get up there, she would be confident, but then she's talking at people.
Yeah.
And when she switched that around to go, okay, I know what I'm saying, and she started talking from her heart and just hitting bullet points, because you already know what you're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not, it actually becomes more confident when you aren't fluid and perfect and the words are just, already scripted. When it just comes from your heart and it's all messed up and things get all messed up, people are like, wow, she's just who she is.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that when that happens.
The power of vulnerability, for sure. And it takes a lot to be vulnerable. Let's be honest. It's not easy talking about the things that are hard for us, but I think once we can get over that hump of, okay, I'm not the only one that's gone through something like this, using those not so great moments or things that we think aren't the best to help other people grow, that's what true leadership is all about. And when you can align the two, you have this much greater impact of influencing people from that authentic perspective, and also being able to sympathize and empathize with people. It's a mutual give-receive relationship once you can get to that point.
Yeah. Do you find it's different when you're talking to, younger people versus people that, let's just say we have a lot of wisdom?
That's such an interesting question, because my following and the people that I find myself in my circles, it's such a diverse group. I've got people who, most of my clients have been, they could be my parents. And it's just been in this last year that I've started to connect with more millennials, which I'm like, yay, like, where have you been all my life? And this whole time I feel like I'm like, looking around. And so I see differences, but I think that a lot of the differences are coming together in a really cohesive way so that we can help each other learn and grow, because obviously you already mentioned it. You guys have a lot of wisdom. You've been around the block a few more times than we have. And then we bring a different perspective on business. We're really passionate about having a bigger impact on the world and giving back. We love technology, and not to say that people who are more mature don't, but I think that there's a lot that we can help each other with and just bring new perspectives and understanding.
I know, I talk to my daughter all the time, who's just a social media just genius, and it's a different perspective, being able to see things through her eyes, her 21-year-old eyes, and it's really neat to step back and say, okay, yeah, she's only 21, but she has a brilliance all in her own. So how can I tap into that instead of just discounting people? And I think a lot of times it goes the other way, where a younger person just discounts them. Oh, you're just old, you don't know what you're talking about. Really coming together and finding that common ground, I think, is really where the brilliance really happens.
Absolutely. I just got back from volunteering today. This popped in my head. I think I want to touch on the volunteering portion. But I think if we can look at every single person as a soul and a human being, that we all have something unique about us that we can all contribute and build each other up, I think that the world would be a much better place. And why I say that is I volunteer at a local hospital, and I do art therapy with people who are long-term on disability and have problems breathing. They're incapacitated in wheelchairs or paralyzed. And you would think going to volunteer that you're giving and giving and giving. But I tell you, every single time that I go, I end up being the one that I feel like receives the most out of it. And all they're doing is being there. They're very present. They can't really do much other than that. But they have a profound impact on me in my life. So I think, looking at every single person on the planet as valuable and having opportunity to contribute.
Yeah, when I get to meet so many amazing people around the world, and what's really exciting when you start to meet these different, age groups, mindsets, income levels. I mean, you just name the diversity, right? You start really realizing, we're all more similar than anyone wants to admit. Everyone wants to click everybody into these little subcategories. And really, there's just a little bit that changes between all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish the world could really see that. And it's usually because they just don't go out and just talk to people
Right.
in their presence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is your big goal for the rest of the year?
Well, this year, so I also run a creative agency. It's called Lux Chicks, and we offer a variety of different services from branding, website development, business coaching, and graphic design. So those are our core service offerings. And what I've been doing in the last few months is bringing on different partners, creative agencies and media organizations who can start to take over more of the hands-on creative piece of a lot of the clients that I work with, so that I can focus more on teaching and speaking. And the book's just been going like gangbusters since it came out. And so that's my goal for this year. And I've been, through the book, had a lot more opportunities to do workshops and small speaking engagements here locally. So that's been exciting as well. I've got an online academy that will be rolling out based off of the book. So it'll be Badass and Brilliant Academy. It's an online membership forum for membees. I call them because of the whole B aspect, which we haven't even touched on, for them to get and attain measurable business success through holistic accountability, mind, body, and spirit. So every month there's a different theme with a different expert. Tonya will be an expert at some point in this year.
Yay!
And then the component that I'm really excited about is these monthly built-in check-in assessments built upon the 8 core concepts in the book that help the members begin to assess where they're at, where they need to make changes in their entrepreneurial goals or personal goals, so they can stay balanced and on track with being badass and brilliant in their own lives.
Nice. And you have an event, don't you, coming up?
Yes, I am co-partnering. I'm actually a sponsor. There's an event in Grand Rapids called, let me pull it up because I just had it in mind, but it's the Inspired Life GR Conference. It's an amazing event. This is the 2nd annual event, and the dates are, it's the weekend of February 25th and 26th here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It is all about holistic health and healing. We're pulling together some really core components and drawing the connection between energy, breath, movement. I think there's 2 more modalities, but helping attendees understand what true wholeness really means. So I will be there. I will have books there on hand. I will also be interviewing. There's 2 panels, one each day. One is a nutrition expert panel, and the other one is an energy panel. And I always enjoy connecting with people at that level and drawing out their gifts and parts of their stories so everyone can benefit and hear what they have to share. So if you want information about that conference, you can visit inspiredlifegr.com.
Nice. Perfect. All righty, everyone. So you're going to want to jump on that opportunity. And then how do they get a hold of your book?
Absolutely. You can visit bebadassandbrilliant.com. B has 2 E's. If you're friends with me on Facebook, just feel free to send me a message. You can access it at any one of my websites. I would like to touch on the B in the book. I wanted to highlight a holistic cause. And in 2015, I began to be made aware of the dwindling pollinator population and its effects on global agriculture. Basically, without bees, there's no food. And without food, well, life kind of ceases to exist. And so I've just been partnering with groups around the world to bring more awareness to this mini epidemic that we're facing, because bees are on the decline, and just bring awareness to what we can do on an individual basis to spread the word, to help repopulate the population and make sure that it at least stays where it's at or continues to grow.
Love it. That's awesome. Yeah, it's nice when you can do multiple things all at one time.
Yeah,
Build
absolutely.
confidence, build the bee population. Yay!
Yeah,
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for being on today. And I want you back often.
absolutely. Anytime, would be happy to come on.
All righty, everybody. So, you're going to find so many amazing people. So come next time, see another incredible guest, and then take advantage of getting to know Nicole, because obviously she is amazing and you need to know her and you need to get her book and get involved in her world. So thank you for joining me today. See you next time on the Tonya Hoffman's fabulous TV show. Thanks, Nicole. Bye, everybody.
Bye.